had an opportunity to drive a 2025 Miata, Mazda Miata. And but yeah, this one has the last one I drove was the hardtop. This one has the soft top, which looks pretty cool. And yeah, they just make this vehicle look better and better each year. Very impressive looking. It's a small vehicle, but I think everybody at this point knows that. But yeah, check out this color. I don't have the window sticker or anything, but try to provide as much information about it as possible in the description. But yeah, just overall checking it out here. It looks good. It has the gloss black wheels, soft top. It's a little screamer. Like it revs up and accelerates fast. Has a really light, nimble feel, and it has a really good sound system as well. It does have a little trunk, but yeah, it's usable. There's no spare tire or anything like that, of course. It has a little light. But yeah, it's considering the size of the vehicle, it's decent. Has a very simplistic door design. There's no like bottle holder or anything like that. Exterior color is here. It's like a beige color, all soft touch. This is like a simulated carbon fiber look. Hard plastic there at the bottom. And the seats are fairly decent as far as getting in and out. It's a little bit of an issue for me, but it's once you get in place, they're comfortable, manually adjusted. It does have the Bose sound system. Has these speakers here in the headrest, and it sounds really good, really impressive. Little tiny legroom. Yeah, you're not, not a huge amount of room here. Now it has these little cup holders that you can move around. There's a spot to put it there and stuff. And then you have the little locking storage here. You can put some stuff in there. Has a little tiny spot here. So there's no like glove compartment or anything here. The steering wheel does tilt and telescope. There's some buttons on this side here. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. It's not a huge amount of space, but it does give, like I'm 6 feet tall and I can sit in here. I wish it was a little bit further back, but it's okay, I guess. But yeah, not bad. It does have a tilt and telescoping steering column, a few buttons here, the ability to release the trunk there. Let's take a look under the hood. This looks so good under the hood. So it has the position of the engine is this way. So it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle. You have the exhaust on this side, intake on the other. There's no turbocharger. There's no, nothing like that. It's very basic. But yeah, I like the way it's not completely covered with a big cover. You can actually see the coil packs there and where it goes down to the spark plugs. Battery is over here, which is easy to get to. It's insulated as well. There's not a lot of insulation. There's some heat shielding around the exhaust, but the firewall doesn't have any kind of, heat, any kind of like insulation or anything like that, like a lot of other vehicles. It's not really intended to be like a super quiet, comfy vehicle. It's more, you're more connected with the road and more, the suspension travels very low. But the suspension towers here are braced in nicely. It's a solid feeling vehicle. When you're driving it feels very solid, very, I don't know, the handling is great. The acceleration is fun. The handling is great. It's just, the nature of this vehicle is not a, cushy, comfy, highway, long distance, family vehicle. It's a little screamer that you have fun with. So it has some basic functions here on the steering wheel. It does have the cruise control. It doesn't have any kind of lane centering or lane keep assist or adaptive cruise control or anything like that. It's just basic, set it, cancel it, that kind of stuff. You do have the volume knob here, voice recognition, change to the tracks, that kind of stuff. You can change a little bit of information on this little screen right here. You can change some information by pressing this info button, and it just kind of cycles through some information there on that little screen. So it has a screen on this dial, but then the rest of these are actual physical needles over here. This is all a digital screen right here. And then this screen is not a touch screen. You use this button, or actually this knob, and these buttons around it to control it. So we can go here to this main screen. That's the home screen. It has the digital clock, and then you can go up and down and make selections here. So we can go into the settings, so you can see how it works. Basically, the different options here. It has quick access button to the media, basically, and then the navigation as well here. And the home button has a little volume button and the knob. So basically this screen is not a touch screen. So like it's right there. I can just reach out and grab and touch it. Unlike a lot of other, Mazda vehicles have a touch screen. They have a screen, but it's not a touch screen, but it's too far away to touch anyway. But this one's like right there, and I find myself trying to touch it, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to use the knob. Which is, once you get used to the knob, it's not really a big deal. Automatic climate control, fan speed, temperature, where you want the air to blow. Heated seats, so it's 3-stage, high, medium, low for the driver and passenger. USB-C ports here. There's a little place to put something right here. I guess you could potentially put your phone there if it's small enough. It also has a little place for an SD card. This is for the navigation maps, so it's not something you really want to mess with unless you have to. And there's the handbrake, parking brake, emergency brake. And here's the shifter. So basically, here's the range. So it's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. To put it in reverse, you push down and go all the way over and right there. And there's the backup camera, which is in a good location back there. Camera is right in the very center, integrated nicely, and it works well. Doesn't have any kind of like active guidelines or anything, but you can see it. You can see behind you, and that's really the point. Which this vehicle is so small, you can like reach behind you and feel if there's anything there almost. It does have an auto dim rearview mirror with the HomeLink garage door opener controls here. It has a little light, manual light here, and it has little tiny visors. Like a vinyl material, and there's a mirror with no light. Has a little clip, put a registration or something up here as well. So yeah, the compartment is accessible from here, and then you have these cup holders, basically kind of pushing these little spots. You can put it here, or you can put it over here. Press it in place. There we go. But this gets in the way of your legroom, so it's not really practical to put it there. Really, this is the best spot to put it. And kind of press it in there. And even then, it's not very practical either. So yeah. But this vehicle is all about the drive. It's not really about the niceties and features and stuff as far as, the interior. Which it is nice. I mean, the quality of the materials feels good. The sound system is good. For the type of vehicle it is, they did a great job, really. So lowering the top, it's a manual procedure, but it's very simple. So basically, you just want to push forward like that. And you can see the little orange piece there. Pull down on it. Then you lift it up like that and unlatches this right here. And then all you have to do is just grab it and push it back. Like literally, it's so simple. Both to lower it and to raise it. So you just take it, push it until it snaps, right? So then it looks good, it's out of the way. And then to pull it back up, there's a little latch right here, and it lifts up. Same thing, just push it forward. Right here, just rehook that, and you're all done. So it's very simple, easy, low-tech solution to raise and lower the soft top here. Now right here this is actually pretty soft, but this part has like this a stiffer material, and then back here is just a regular cloth. Now notice this absorbs a lot of water on the outside, but it doesn't leak through. But when you're drying it off, it's like a sponge. This material absorbs a lot of water. So curious how that's going to work in wintertime with it freezing and everything. Probably best to keep this in a garage if you have one. So what can I say about this vehicle? It's definitely a screamer. You know, the RPMs can go up to over 7,000 RPMs before it redlines. And my muscle memory when driving a stick shift doesn't let me rev the engine that high typically. So I tend to leave a lot of power and horsepower and everything and acceleration on the table. But it is fun to drive. It's on the small side, of course, and it's one of those type of vehicles you need to go and sit in it, take it for a test drive, and you'll know pretty much immediately if it's something that you're interested in. It's not really a practical vehicle, right? It's a two-seater. This one has a soft top, and it's a very basic vehicle. It doesn't have a lot of high-end technology. It's pretty basic, and a lot of people are looking for that. There's a lot of, if you just want a two-seater, just like basic transportation type vehicle, you're not going to put a lot of groceries in it. You're not going to put a lot of stuff. You're not going to necessarily go on long distance traveling or anything. If you want to step up as far as size goes from, like, say, a motorcycle, then, you just want to get around. You want to get around and you want to have a little bit of fun doing it. This could be an option for you. But it looks really cool. If it was just scaled up a little bit, it'd be better for me. I mean, I'm just a little bit too big for it, really. Or it's too small for me, whatever you want to say. But, getting in and out is really the issue. When I'm actually in place, I do feel a little claustrophobic when I'm driving it. But once I'm in place, it's manageable, right? I'm able to have no problem driving. And, I reach the pedals. The seat's all the way back. I wish it could go a little bit further back, so I'd feel a little bit cramped. But overall, it is a fun vehicle to drive. I can appreciate it, even though it's not right for me. I can appreciate the fun factor as far as driving one of these vehicles and owning one, and you take it out on the weekend, put the top down, and just kind of cruise around. And the acceleration, and just the feel, the connection that you have with the road, with the manual transmission and the high revving engine, and also you're low to the ground. You get this. You feel connected to the ground. The suspension is stiff and bouncy and stuff. Like it's not bouncy. It's like you feel all the bumps basically. It's not you feel connected to the road. And it's actually not bad. Like once you get used to it, it does handle well. And it makes you want to kind of zip around a little bit more, but yeah, it's a interesting vehicle, and like it has basic stuff like cruise control and and automatic climate control. I mean, it has some basic stuff like that, but it's not really, it's not gonna give you anything advanced. This one does have the little screen right here with the navigation. But it's not a touch screen, even though it's right there and you can touch the screen, unlike a lot of the other Mazdas where the screen's too far away. This one's like right there, so I find myself like putting the screen a lot. But it has the dial down here that is how you control it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting vehicle. Definitely, it looks good. Yeah, really impressive looking. I always like the way the Miatas look. It's interesting because the first Miata, when they first got released, in the, late 80s, early 90s, is when I first started seeing them. And I was like, wow, that's such an impressive looking car. And so I just stopped by a dealership to look at one. And I looked at it and I sat in and I was like, wow, it's much, much smaller than what I thought. So, so even at a young age, like a teenager or whatever, I was, it's just too small for me, But yeah, I'm trying to think of exactly when it was. It was definitely in the late. It seemed like it might have been in the early 90s, but it was in that range, late 80s, early 90s, to where I first saw it. And it's basically a very similar size. It's still a very small vehicle. They haven't really expanded it and made it bigger, and but definitely the looks have improved. They just keep making it look better and better, But yeah, take it for a test drive, see if it's right for you. If you like what you see in the pictures and everything and videos, it's definitely fun to drive. If you can fit in it and you don't mind driving a small vehicle, then man, I think you'll really enjoy it. yeah. You see, I don't even rev it up that much compared to what it's capable of. And also, by the time once you get going, you're basically at the speed limit. So on a road like this, but yeah, it handles well. Handles these curves very well. Feels very solid and planted. You're not leaning with that stiff suspension and low center of gravity. It feels fine. It feels really good. Handle these no problem.